Okay, let's talk about Chase UK. Yep, that is a chunk of toothpaste, and it's going to be there for the whole video. So I apologize. Feel free to mock me in the comments section. Because if you've been using them for a while now, well, things aren't looking that great, are they? And I know, and my co-host here, Jan, knows that we can definitely do better. So Chase UK built up their popularity, giving us 1% cash back on everyday spending, plus a pretty decent savings account. And they even had 5% interest on roundups, which is still available. That's pretty special. But they're stripping back, or they've stripped back the cash back. You no longer get 1% on everyday spending, and it's limited to just groceries and transport. And you don't even get cash back on international spending anymore. And I guess 1% on groceries and transport, so that's like fuel and electric car charging, can sound enticing, but we can definitely do better. There are apps in the UK like Jam Donut, which offers 2.5% cash back on Morrison's and Tesco's, and they've also got all the other big supermarkets. And then there's apps like Top Cashback. That's not necessarily for groceries, but you can get cash back on specific retailers. And some of the offers on there are extremely good. So my point is, Chase have stripped back, but they're still offering cash back. But I don't want you to be lulled into thinking that that is still rewarding, because we can do much better than that. And that's what we're going to talk about on today's podcast/video. First of all, though, Jan is here with me. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Johnny. Thanks for the introduction. Maybe something to add here. One of the reasons why the Chase UK card isn't as attractive anymore is also that the cashback is capped at £15 per month, right?
That
so
is
if it wasn't
correct.
capped, then the percent, like 1%, would be quite interesting. But considering the cap, I'm sure we can do much better.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the stripping back, I guess, because it was unlimited to begin with, which was unbelievable. But now it's no longer unlimited, and it's now limited to certain things. So yeah, you're absolutely right. We can definitely do much better than that. And the first card we're going to talk about is from Santander. This is the Edge current account, where you can earn more than the cap from Chase UK of £15. You can actually earn £20 in cash back from both your spending and household bills, which is quite a nice touch. Now, to get this account, you need to be a Santander current account holder. So you'll need to open an account with Santander, but you'll need to deposit £500 into the account each month and have at least 2 direct debits set up. So if you're willing to do that, if you're able to do that, then you can start to earn cash back of up to £20. Having the direct debits already set up is going to benefit you, because you're going to get cash back on those household bills, because they could be anything like electricity or council tax, for example. So that's going to help you qualify for the account. You're also going to be able to start earning cash back immediately. And while the cash back is specific to categories, so it's still quite similar in that sense to Chase UK, you can earn more, and you've got more opportunities in terms of the categories. So it's transport, like we mentioned, so bus tickets, train tickets, fuel, electric vehicle charging, and supermarket purchases, and that's in the UK only. So that isn't international. I think the biggest winner here is that you have the opportunity to earn more cash back, and especially from your household bills, which I think we all have, right? We all have direct debit standing orders set up, most of us at least. Maybe you're lucky enough not to. But I know I have a lot of household bills going out my bank account each month, and earning a little bit of extra cash back from that could be very beneficial. Difficult really to criticize this account, Jan, apart from the fact there is a £3 monthly fee.
Yeah, right. I don't see any critic points, to be honest. Just to clarify, Johnny, the Chase UK account is free of charge, or is there also a monthly fee?
No, it's free. It is free of charge.
All right, interesting. Yeah. Then the £20 per month cash back is essentially just a £2 advantage, right?
That's true. That's a good point, Jan. So you're talking, instead of making £15 with Chase UK, well, potentially 17. But there are more opportunities to earn with this Santander account, and from spending that £3 per month account fee, you do get access to the Santander Edge savings account, which right now, as of the 17th of April, when we're recording this, you can earn 6% on balances of up to £4,000. And that includes a bonus of 2% for the first 12 months. So that 6% will get wound back to 4% after the first year. So there is a little bit of an opportunity there to earn some money from savings, which could then supplement the account fee as well. I think overall it is a better account. Personally, I have no experience with Santander, so I can't comment on the customer support that you might not necessarily need, but it's always good to have. And Chase UK do have very good customer support. The app itself as well, I don't have any experience of. But I think overall, when you put this account next to the Chase UK account, if you are looking to say goodbye to Chase UK, because some people, I think, from a principal perspective, feel a bit let down by this as well. And if you're looking to go elsewhere, then I think this is a compelling option.
Absolutely agree with this. Maybe something else to mention. There's also no fixed fees on travel spending or withdrawals, and Santander uses MasterCard's FX rates, so they're pretty close to the mid-market rates.
Yeah, great travel card. But the next one that we've got on our list is Trading 212's Cashback card, which has only really come about in the past couple of years, but they do have quite a compelling card, Jan.
Absolutely, yeah. Offers 0.5% cashback on all purchases, but that's also capped at £20 per month. The cashback is credited daily once the transactions are completed. And that sounds pretty interesting compared to both Santander and Chase UK, in my opinion.
I agree. And also there's no fee, which is quite a nice touch. So you don't have to pay £3 like Santander. Opening the account as well. My experience of opening the account, at least, is it's so fast, Jan. It's unbelievable how quick they go through the Know Your Customer checks these days. But I think I had the Trading 212 account open within less than 5 minutes. So, if you just want to dip your toe into it, if you just want to take a look and see how you feel, if you want to try the app and see how you feel, maybe reach out to customer support and see if they're responsive. Little things like that some people want to do. I definitely recommend just opening the account. You don't have to pay a fee, and as soon as you swipe that card, you're going to earn 0.5% cash back on all your purchases. It's not quite as enticing.
Just one question from my side, Johnny. So there is a £4.95 fee to get a physical card. Can you get a virtual card at all? And if you can, does the cashback still apply?
Yes, the cashback still applies to virtual card purchases. You're absolutely right to raise the fee on the physical card. I could see that be a problem if you were possibly looking to use this from an international spending perspective, because in certain areas around the world, using a virtual card or tap to pay with your phone isn't necessarily always available. So having a physical card could be useful, especially for withdrawing money. But yeah, that is something that you'd have to consider. If you want to get hold of the card, it's going to cost you just under £5 to get it. It's not the end of the world, I suppose, but it's not the best when a lot of the banks like Chase UK and Santander send their cards out free of charge. You still earn cash back abroad though, Jan, which is quite a nice little touch. And there are no fixed fees on your spending internationally. Your withdrawals are free as well, and they use the real mid-market rate. So they have very good exchange rates. I mean, it's as good as it's going to get in terms of your FX fees for international spending. There are very few cards that can say that, if any, to be honest, that are better. It's kind of the peak. And yeah, unless they're offering... unless they're making a loss on international spending to encourage people to spend. You sometimes see that with international money transfers, don't you, where they offer a favorable exchange rate, which is even better than the mid-market because they're essentially just losing money on that. But that's as good as it's probably going to get, guys, in terms of international spending. So Trading 212 have a very compelling account from cashback perspective and from international spending perspective. I suppose if you were to criticize it, I mean, what can we criticize? Possibly the withdrawal limits, Jan. It's only £400 per month, and then after that, it's 1%.
Right, yeah. But realistically speaking, Johnny, I think most people will be fine with that.
Apart from you.
Yeah, apart from me, I withdraw quite a lot every month. It depends on which country I am. Honestly, if I'm in Europe, I don't withdraw as much. But in certain countries where cash is still king, yeah, I do need to withdraw more. obviously.
Yeah, now you're in Japan. Do you think you'll be withdrawing less than when you were in Thailand?
I actually haven't withdrawn at all yet because I came with some yen. I prepared myself, converted some of the leftover bahts I had in Thailand into yen at an excellent exchange rate, by the way. It's a whole nother topic. And so far I'm using those.
Yeah, I'd love to pry and like poke around where and how you exchange the currency, but that's a whole different topic and a whole different tangent. I'm just glad you got a good exchange rate. Of course you did. Let's go into credit cards. I'm afraid to tell you, when it comes to debit card spending, the options are a little bit limited for rewards. So we're going to move swiftly into credit cards now. And that's because the merchant fees on credit card spending are greater than debit card spending. So banks and credit card providers like American Express can give you more rewards. So you're always going to find that credit cards are going to be more rewarding. That's not just in the UK as well. That's like especially in places like the US. So if we're looking at American Express, they've got a number of different options available to you. There's loads of cards there, but we've just put a few down here in our document, which we think are the best, which are the best available. I personally use the American Express Gold Card. I think they call it the Preferred Rewards Gold Credit Card. That's the one I use, and I can talk to you about that quickly. I've got a whole video on it if you're interested in learning a bit more over on the Monito channel. But one thing I would definitely say, because this Gold Card does have an annual fee after the first 12 months. It's really important with any of these cards, particularly if they have fees, that you look at your spending and see how they fit. Consider your spending and see how they fit with the card. Because before we go into credit cards, if you are spending, so that Chase UK account, for example, is capped at £15 per month. So if you are spending £1,500 per month, and that's it, then it's probably that card or the Santander card are probably your best option. But if you're looking, or if you are spending more than that, you know, £3,000, £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 a month, then you'd probably want to get out of there and have a look at some of these credit card options. So the Rewards Gold credit card. So with the American Express cards, you're going to earn membership reward points, American Express membership reward points. Now, these can be redeemed for different things. You can, at their most basic rate, redeem them for 0.45p per point. So 1,000 points is £4.50. And that's their most basic redemption. And then that will go up and up and up, depending on how you redeem them. You know, if you're going to turn them into Avios points, you could redeem them for a lot more than that. You know, in some cases, you know, if you're using your Avios points that were originally AMEX membership points to get an economic or an economy flight somewhere, the redemption rate might be a little bit lower. But if you build them up as big as possible and you redeem them for a first class flight, you can get some great redemption rates. And that's where the real value from Amex points come, from stockpiling them and then redeeming them for business class flights, first class flights. So the Amex Rewards Gold credit card, the one I use, does have a fee of £195 per year, I should say that, but the first 12 months are free. The first 12 months are fee free. And you can get a fantastic welcome bonus when you sign up. I highly recommend, if you're spending enough money, that you just grab that welcome bonus and you sign up, because it's going to be free in the first year. So you get 1 Amex point per pound that you spend. You get 2 points per pound that you spend on airline tickets. So if you book through BA, and also foreign transactions. But I don't recommend using it as a foreign international spending card, because there's a 3% fee on those transactions. So you definitely don't want to do that, Jan, because that's just going to, the points are going to be pointless. And then there's also 3 points per pound when you spend on Amex travel. But that's probably not the best way to book. So there's also a police. Yes, absolutely. Very, very attractive. And I mean, obviously American Express have got some of the smartest minds in the world working on this, and they're aware that most people either forget or they just end up using it in the long run. But I mean, I just would compel anyone really to sign up. You're going to have to spend some money to achieve your welcome bonus. Should definitely mention that as well. This is the thing when you're recording a live podcast, you forget to mention some of the fundamentals. But if you want to get that welcome bonus, you're going to have to spend a certain amount of money to earn it, which I believe is £3,000 across 3 months.
Right. A lot of people book holidays or vacations at once. Right. And if you know that your vacation is coming up, you want to book that, might be a good idea to sign up for the card, even if you know that your normal spending isn't as high, right? Because you'll be spending those £3,000 maybe at once, right? You get your bonus, you can cancel the card afterwards.
There's also a couple of other benefits. You get Deliveroo credit of £5 twice a month when you spend on Deliveroo. Also, if you are spending a little extra, there's bonus points that you can earn. So you can get 2,500 bonus points for every £5,000 that you spend. And that's up to 12,500 bonus points per year. So it can be very lucrative. I found one of the most lucrative things about the Amex Gold Card, and I guess the ecosystem in general, is the referral points, Jan. Right now you can earn 9,000, and this will vary, but 9,000 points when you refer someone. And you know, you're offering someone the chance to get 30,000 bonus points, and you get 9,000. I mean, going around and telling, you're meant to tell friends and family only, but going around and telling your best friend, your mum and dad, your co-host of your podcast, whoever it may be, to get an Amex card is pretty easy going. You just have to, it's not really a hard sell. Yeah, it's not a very difficult sell. You know, this account is free to open. And if you're spending £3,000 in the first 3 months, you can bag yourself that nice welcome bonus, which could be potentially redeemed at, you know, a value of £150 to £200 on Avios. So you could potentially book a one-way economy flight with that welcome bonus.
Have you mentioned the priority passes that are included as well? So there are 4 priority pass launch visits per year that are included, and if you would price them, they're priced at 25 or £24 per pass currently. So that's £96 in value that you're getting.
And you can, if you have young children, like me, I have a 2-year-old, they can come in for free. So my wife and I have gone into the lounges, used those priority passes before, and being able to bring in my daughter for free. There's also some insurance benefits as well sprinkled on the top, including like travel inconvenience and purchase protection. So it is quite a compelling option for anyone that's going to be able to spend £3,000 within the first 3 months to bag that welcome bonus, and is possibly spending £3,500 to £5,000 on a monthly basis. It's definitely worth looking at, particularly if you're going to use those lounge passes, redeem that Deliveroo credit. It's definitely worth considering. And we also have a couple of other Amex cards on the list. We have the Amex Nectar credit card, Jan.
That's a very interesting card, Johnny. That brings you 2 Nectar points for every £1 you spend with the card. And if you're shopping at a Nectar partner like Sainsbury or Argos and scan your Nectar card as well, you get at least 1 extra point. And that would accumulate to 3 points per pound spent in those cases.
3 Nectar points redeems at 1.5p. Is that correct?
That's the cash equivalent in the very worst case, I think. But then there are ways to redeem them for higher redemption rate if you convert them to certain airline miles programs. Avios, for example, and then spend it on flights, you can obviously achieve much more.
It also has a welcome bonus. I can't remember the amount of, do you know the amount of points?
It's 20,000 points for £2,000 spent in the first 3 months. And the good thing about that card is it's just £30 annually after the second year. First year is free. So that's great for people that don't have high expenditures. That would justify the gold card. Those could be very well off of the Nectar card, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's obvious because of the name, but it would be a very good card for anyone that's spending money at like Nectar affiliated retailers like Argos and Sainsbury's.
And I think the cashback also isn't capped, and obviously not with the gold card, but because the Nectar card is priced very similarly to the Santander account we first mentioned. That was actually a debit card, but it's priced very similarly. Santander is £36 a year. The Nectar card is £30 a year. Santander has a cap on the cashback. The Nectar card doesn't. So it might be the better option.
Yeah, that's a good option. Yeah, that's a really good option. And then we have, I didn't put this on the doc. Did you put this on the doc? The Amex Platinum cashback credit card.
You
That
put it
must
there,
have-
Johnny.
Did I put that there? Okay. See, the only problem I have. Okay. We're here to talk about cashback alternatives. I apologize. I put it there, but it's only it's there, but I don't necessarily think it's the greatest option. I'll let you weigh up whether you think it's the best option for you based on your spending. But the Amex Platinum Cashback Credit Card, I feel like we should mention this, to be fair, because we're here to talk about cashback. So you get 0.75% on annual spending of up to £10,000. So your first 10 grand that you spend with this card, you get 0.75%. And then as you go over that threshold, you earn 1.25%. So you got to hit 10K first. Now, the cashback is actually credited to your account at the end of your year. So it cycles round on the anniversary month that you signed up, and you get statement credit. It's not like Avios, or it's not like earning Amex points that you can then convert to Avios and find better ways to redeem them to get as much value out of them. You are stuck with statement credit. There's an annual fee of £25 as well. The first year is not free as well. And you're really getting a worse deal than Chase UK or Santander. And unless you're spending over 10K on this one card, then I don't really think the numbers work in your favor. And that's why I said that I don't know why I put this on the doc, but here we are, because I think it's worth mentioning, because you might come across this card and think, oh, that looks compelling. But I think when you crunch the numbers, Jan, it's not worthwhile.
No, absolutely not, in my opinion, at least, Johnny. Just to clarify one thing, you mentioned that the cashback is tracked throughout the year and then only paid out at once during your card's anniversary month. How does it work with the gold card in general? Is the cashback credited monthly or daily even?
So it's important to clarify that with the gold card, you're not earning cashback, you're earning Amex points. And those just come in once the payment is processed. If you refund that payment, then those points are deducted from your tally. I like that about the account. I like that about the gold card. It's almost instant, the membership points. So you get little hits of dopamine constantly. Whereas with this cashback card, you've got to wait. You got to be patient. And that to me isn't that attractive either. There is another rewards credit card that we've mentioned that's relatively well known. I've talked about it before on the channel as well. And it's the Barclaycard rewards credit card. Possibly a good option for someone that's using the Barclaycard cashback rewards program, because so Barclaycard have a separate rewards program website or entity. And if you were to use that to find specific cashback on retailers, then you could stack that cashback with this card. And that might make this card worthwhile, because frankly, the cashback percentage for it it's pretty poor. It's 0.25%. So unless you're stacking that with other cashback offers, it might not be worthwhile.
Yeah, it doesn't sound attractive to me at all, Johnny.
Let me try to make it more attractive. They do have a limited time offer right now. I think it's to April the 30th, where you can earn 0.5% cashback. So you just get a little extra. How generous of them. And that'll run till September the 30th, 2025. I think I mentioned this card on the channel, Jan, a while back, because I had it as a travel rewards card. And that's where you could possibly make this more compelling. You could possibly sell this a bit better, because you could say, well, this cashback, 0.25% or 0.5% when it's boosted, can be earned on international spending. And there are no fixed fees. And there are Visa's exchange rates, which are similar to MasterCard, similar to the mid-market rate, so not too bad. So that could possibly sell the card from an international spending cashback perspective. But from a basic domestic spending here in the UK, it's not that compelling. Again, difficult to really compete with the gold card from Amex, at least in the first year.
Right. And the question is also, do you really need a credit card for international spending? We've talked about debit cards. We've introduced a few debit cards, and those are much more attractive from a cashback perspective, right?
It's true. You'd probably be better off using the trading 212 card. I guess you could argue that Section 75, the Purchase Protection Act that we have here in the UK, Jan, you may have heard of, that applies to credit card transactions, also applies to international transactions, could be a reason to use a credit card to spend money internationally. But still, the cashback just isn't really that enticing, particularly when you compare it to Trading 212's account. That's always 0.5%. There is no cap, so that could possibly make it more compelling for someone who's spending a lot of money. But I don't really see how anyone's going internationally and making big purchases unless you're getting a hair transplant from Turkey, which is actually quite a popular thing these days, or new teeth. But even that's not that expensive. Although you might be wise to put that on Section 75 and put it on a credit card just in case your teeth fall out or your hair goes, curly. So yeah, the Barclaycard Rewards credit card, we've brought it up today. It is an option and it could be compelling if you're stacking it with other cashback offers like the Barclaycard Cashback Rewards program and also possibly some of those other apps and programs that I mentioned at the top of the episode, which was Top Cashback or Jam Donut. But then you could say that about all of the cards that we've mentioned so far. Like where possible, you do want to be stacking your cashback rewards, and it is feasible, and you can do it with some of these apps. I have Jam Donut, I have Top Cashback, and where possible, I like to try and stack the cashback that I earn. There are also, Jan, retailer-specific credit cards. These, similar to the AMEX Nectar card, can be good when you're frequently spending with the affiliated retailers. So who have we got?
Right, so there's the Amazon credit card that gives you 1% cashback on basic Amazon purchases and 2% on sales, like Prime Day, for example. Then you get 0.5% elsewhere. And after the first 12 months, that reduces to 0.25%. And then there's a John Lewis partnership card, 1.25% at John Lewis, Waitrose, and 0.25% elsewhere. The only disadvantage there is you can't cash the rewards out until £5 are earned. It's a minor disadvantage, still worth mentioning in my opinion. And then we have the M&S Bank card that provides 1% at M&S. And the Asta Money card, 0.75% at Asta.
Yeah, it's like none of those would compel me enough to just not use my gold card at any of these retailers. I mean, like I spend probably the majority, I've done it already in a spreadsheet, but yeah, I spent the majority of my kind of everyday spending is at Amazon, but I'm earning Amex points with that spending because I always put it on my credit card. I mean, 2% on sales on Prime Day. I mean, that could be compelling, but I know what their game is. Their game is to try to make me spend more money at Amazon. And do I need to spend more money at Amazon? No. Do I need to be spending money on Prime Day on probably just tut that's not even discounted? It's like dressed up as a discount, but they probably increase the price because it's Prime Day. I'm not going to be sold by that personally. I'm not interested. Definitely not interested in Amazon credit card. Maybe the John Lewis partnership card could have been enticing for me when I moved into this house. I went on a bit of a spending spree at John Lewis, but I was also at the time using the Chase UK card that was earning 1% unlimited. I made a lot of cash back then, but I guess I could have earned a little extra with that John Lewis Waitrose card. Like I said at the top of the show, like Jan said in the past, you've just got to look at your spending, look at your habits and how they tie into some of these cards. If you are just like an addict, an Asda addict, you just love spending money at Asda, then maybe 0.75% could be compelling. I don't even know then, though. You'd probably be better off using Santander. It's difficult, isn't it? It's so difficult with these cards. Like M&S. I mean, M&S, you got 1% at M&S, but there's probably better options out there. You could probably go on Top Cashback. Sorry, Jam Donut. You could probably go on Jam Donut right now and get a voucher, get an M&S, maybe not M&S, but you could get an Asda voucher right now on Jam Donut. You could get like 2.5% cashback on like a £500 Asda voucher, which immediately supersedes that card. So I'm going to sum up, I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to say, personally, I look at these cards not as an opportunity to be rewarded, but as an opportunity to be encouraged or enticed by the retailer to spend more money while they give you little bits of dopamine, little rewards. It's not worth it.
It's very important to compare those credit cards side by side to just figure out what's the best fit for your needs personally, considering your personal spending habits.
There's also airline rewards credit cards. These are very good if you're a big spender or a big traveler. And they do look impressive on paper because they offer like upgrade opportunities and nice perks. But they're really ideally only for someone who's flying regularly or saving up the points, like I mentioned in terms of Avios, for a big redemption. So we have the AMEX British Airways Premium Plus card. We have the Barclaycard Avios Plus, which I briefly mentioned earlier when talking about Priority Pass and Lounge Access, and the Virgin Atlantic Reward Plus card. Should we start with the British Airways one, Jan?
Yeah, let's start with that one. So that costs £300 a year, and you're getting 1.5 Avios per pound spent. If you spend £15,000 per year, you get a companion voucher that can be used in any class, including business and first class. Great value, in my opinion, if you fly British Airways very often, in my opinion.
So that companion voucher, that's just the companion voucher is just like a freebie for someone else to buy to get an additional seat.
So a second ticket is free when you book with points, or an upgrade voucher.
Okay.
Essentially, there's a welcome bonus of 30,000 Avios, which is quite attractive. But yeah, the downside is obviously the £300 fee, making it quite an expensive card. And then there's also a 2.99% foreign transaction fee. Same as AMEX, actually. I think that was also 2.99%, right, Johnny? Mm-hmm. So it's not really attractive if you spend money overseas.
No, it's not. And you're obviously someone that's traveling frequently as well. So, if you're getting this card, you're someone that's traveling frequently. So you're probably wanting to spend money internationally. It's difficult. You can see why like the flashy perks like the companion voucher are going to entice people in. Yeah, you've just got to be spending money on flights. I mean, if you are spending a lot of money with British Airways, then possibly it's worthwhile. But if you're here watching this right now looking for Chase UK alternatives or better options, this is probably not going to be for you. So I think we can probably move swiftly on. And it's £300 for the first year as well. And there's no, it's not free for the first year like the Gold Card, which also offers 30,000 welcome bonus points. Not Avios, like this British Airways one, that gives you 30,000 Avios, but the Gold Card offers 30,000 AMEX welcome bonus points, which you could then convert to Avios. So I think that is, personally for me, definitely not something that's compelling, and really you're just going to have to be a frequent flyer for that one to be really worthwhile, a big spender. Same for the Barclaycard Avios Plus, which is £20 a month, or saying this sounds a lot worse when you say £240 a year. You get 1.5 Avios per pound, so just like the Amex British Airways card. If you spend £10,000 a year, you can earn a cabin upgrade voucher or 7,000 Avios points. Probably better getting the cabin upgrade, but that will also depend on availability. And in some cases, that might not be there. You might not be able to do it, or you may have to book a specific flight in order to redeem that upgrade, which would mean potentially looking at dates, times that you might not necessarily want to book. Personally, I've found with a lot of these cards that accumulate points that you can then redeem with Avios, I've found that as someone who has a family, I'm looking to buy 3 seats, Jan, and you are restricted to what's available within the Avios ecosystem. So you don't just get access to every available flight. So you end up having to make concessions on dates, even destinations, because it's so hard to find 3 seats for a family redeeming Avios. It's genuinely really difficult. So that's something I should mention as well. A lot of these cards and redeeming Avios is really good for solo traveling, but be aware that if you're looking to redeem this for a family or for just you and your partner, you might have to make concessions on when you travel, when you redeem these points. But the Barclaycard Avios Plus is also quite good for spending money with retailers that might not necessarily take Amex. So my wife and I do have the Barclaycard Avios card, not the Plus one, which is free, Jan, and we have that as a fallback card to earn Avios points when American Express is not available, which some retailers don't offer. You do get a welcome bonus with that Barclaycard Avios Plus card. It's usually around 25,000 Avios points. And again, like the Amex card, there's a 2.99% international transaction fee as well. So probably not the best. No, I don't need to say probably. It's not the best card to use internationally.
Just out of curiosity, Johnny, sorry to interrupt. How many Avios do you earn per pound spent on a normal Barclaycard Avios?
You collect 1 Avios point for every pound spent with no monthly fee. So that's the non-plus.
Even harder to justify the plus card, honestly. I mean, how much money you have to spend for this to be actually worth it? It's, I mean, I haven't made the calculation, but I assume it's a huge amount.
Yeah, I mean, you do get air. I love this. I love this when they have stuff like this. It's like, to like the normal person, they might think this is a good deal. You, with the Barclaycard Avios Plus account, you get discounted lounge access at a rate of £20.50 per lounge pass per person. Wow. Thank you.
So the AMEX Gold card is cheaper and it includes 4 free lounge entries.
Yes.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really difficult. With all these credit cards that are available, it's really difficult personally to see how any of them could be compelling. Apart from, like the Amex Gold card, at least in the first year while it's free. I think that is like the pinnacle here. But, we are on the category of airline reward credit cards still. And this Barclaycard Avios Plus is an airline specific because Avios. And I guess if you're booking enough flights, then it could be worthwhile, possibly. Ugh. I don't see it. All right, what about Richard Branson's Virgin Atlantic Reward Plus card? Bit more niche, isn't it? Virgin. I haven't flown Virgin in maybe a decade. Have you flown Virgin before?
Not Virgin Atlantic, but Virgin Australia I've flown with.
I mean, this is going to be great if you regularly fly Virgin Atlantic. So you get 1.5 with this card. It's £160 per year. You get 1.5 Virgin points per pound. And you can, if you spend £10,000, you get one of those companion upgrade tickets. And there's also a welcome bonus of 18,000 points. Best thing is, though, there's no minimum spend on the welcome bonus. I might just go and sign up now, Jan.
Well, it's the first year free. Don't believe it is.
Oh, God. You got me there. Okay, I'm not going to go sign up. No. Okay, don't sign up. Don't just go and sign up because you've got to pay £160 to get your 18,000 points. Oh. The 18,000 Virgin points might get you a return in economy on short-haul routes, but premium cabin redemptions are generally over 50,000 Virgin points. So you could get yourself a short-haul economy class flight basically for £160 because that's what it's going to cost to get the card for the year, which might be worthwhile. There might be something in that for someone, some very niche. Someone right now listening to this who's thinking about traveling to Prague or Switzerland, you could get I'm not sure Virgin fly to Switzerland, but you could get this card for 160. Damn it. You don't need to fact check me on that. They probably don't fly to Switzerland. I said out of all the countries in the world that are close proximity to the UK, one of the ones I mentioned, they don't even fly to Switzerland. But you could get this Virgin card if you're getting a short haul flight somewhere for £160. Could be worthwhile. Final thoughts on some of these options that we've talked about today. Chase UK is definitely no longer the king of cashback. That's for sure. The best debit options are definitely the Santander Edge, the Trading 212, like we mentioned. That is generally as good as it gets. And just make sure that you're looking at some of these cashback, third-party cashback programs like Top Cashback, Jam Donut, and looking at ways that you can stack your rewards. And the best credit card option, I mean, I know we mentioned the AMEX Nectar card, which is great if you're spending with those Nectar affiliated retailers. For me, it is that gold card. particularly for the first year. Just get it for the first year, and then in a year's time, let's talk about our options. Let's look at our options. And of course, with any credit card, don't forget to pay the balance in full. I rarely talk about the interest rates on these accounts because you should just be paying the credit card off, and we shouldn't need to talk about that. AMEX is notoriously high as well. So, and they're also very generous, Jan, with the amount of money they allow you to play with. You know, they gave me £20,000 in credit on that gold card. My second highest credit card is 12.5, and that's a credit card I've had with Halifax for years, and always paid off. I can't believe that. It's not reckless because I'll never get close to that and I would always pay it off, but just the generosity, I couldn't believe it. I don't know about that, Jan. I was about to get the Virgin Rewards card without even seeing if there was a fee just to get my points. I'm reckless, man. I'm going crazy out here. So yeah, don't forget to pay the balances. And also when you're looking at the debit cards, make sure you're using them to pay for the correct things. Like going back to the Chase UK, the problem with Chase UK being isolated now to spending categories. The same could be said for the Santander Edge. Although you can earn more cashback with Santander, £2 more. But you've got to make sure that you're using it to spend on the right categories.
In order to maximize the cashback you're getting, you should also look at airline programs and see what deals they have out there. For example, Avios always partners up with various British retailers. So in case you want to make a purchase online or even in store, check if your airline program offers any additional points or miles for that. And if so, just log in with your frequent flyer number and collect them. And it can be, Deliveroo, for example, H&M, Booking.com, Airbnb, but also Apple, Domino's, Boots, many other retailers. So it's very attractive in general.
Can you give me an example of what you can potentially earn? And is this like, and also clarify, is this like so you go through Avios directly and you would select a specific retailer and then go and make a purchase? Can you give me like a real world example of a retailer and what you can potentially earn? Just
consider you want to buy a MacBook right now on apple.com. There's a promotion going on Avios that allows you to get 6 additional Avios per pound spent instead of 2. And if you combine that with your cashback credit card, that would then maybe include 2 Avios per pound spent or whatever the rate is there, or maybe 1 Avios. You see, like it's much higher. You can potentially get 7 or 8 Avios per pound spent.
Yeah, that's really good.
With everyday spending, it's huge.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, 6 Avios points per pound at Apple, that's fantastic. Look, let's make it really simple. If you buy the £1,000 MacBook Air, which is roughly what it costs, you're looking at 6,000 Avios points. It'd be worth checking the terms and conditions. I'm not sure if it's as generous as that or if there's like a minimum or a particular type, minimum purchase amount or maximum purchase amount or a particular type of Apple product that it accounts for. But that is very enticing. And I think that reinforces something that I really believe in, that if you are making a purchase in today's world and it's not an everyday purchase or it's not a small ticket item, you really have to look and see what opportunities are out there to earn rewards. Like even if you're spending £300-400 at Curry's, Top Cashback, like I mentioned earlier, but there's loads of apps available, will probably have 3-5% available at Curry's. And I think it's really important to reinforce that thought process around, okay, I'm going to be making a big purchase, TV, laptop, car, possibly not a car, bad example. Let's just say TV or laptop. What can you earn from that purchase? How are you earning from that purchase? Because even just your everyday, even just your debit card or credit card that you have, whether it's the AMEX Gold card or the Trading 212 card, that might not be the best thing that you could use to buy these things. So using one of these airline programs, for example, like Avios, to spend to earn from spending at Apple, Jan. I mean, that's fantastic. 6 points per pound. That's excellent. Are there any, I mean, what's the catch? Is there any, do you have any criticism for these programs?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, I use it personally to collect points through Airbnb stays. Spend quite a lot of money on Airbnbs, and I've collected tens of thousands of Avios through that, and redeemed them for hotel stays, flights, and many other things.
That's nice. I spend a lot of money at Airbnb as well. I mean, I just had £1,300 go out for an upcoming trip to Sicily that went on the AMEX card, which I would have earned 1 AMEX point for per pound. And I probably could have, what's the Airbnb redemption rate right now like? How much do you earn?
2 Avios per pound.
Yeah, wow. I've just said to everyone, you need to consider how you're being rewarded for your high ticket purchases. And it turns out I could have definitely done better. It is difficult, isn't it, though, because there is so much happening. There's so much to look at, to choose. You might not necessarily be able to do it by case basis, but if you can try to get into that thought process, I'm spending £200 today or £2,000 today. How can I best be rewarded for all this spending? Because you deserve to be rewarded. Because every time you spend money, there are merchant fees that banks, credit card companies are earning from, and you should be a part of that earning because it's you who's spending your money. So you should be rewarded for it. I guess I'd end today, Jan, by asking anyone who's watching this, who's possibly clued up as well or has real world experiences, to share them, because it'd be great to hear about any other cards that possibly we haven't mentioned, or your own experience with the cards that we have mentioned. I think that can be really valuable feedback for people that are interested in getting one. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can use the comment section. If you're listening, it's a little bit harder. But also, thank you if you are listening. We really appreciate it. This is also in podcast format on Apple and Spotify. Banking Without Borders is the name of the podcast. But please do, if you're watching on YouTube, share your experience with these cards, or positive or negative. It'd be great to hear from you. With that in mind, thank you very much for your time today, Jan. I really appreciate it. It's always good to talk to you, and always good to talk to the wider world of YouTube and the world in general, people of the internet. Thank you for your time. I'm Johnny, and this is...
I'm Jan.
And we are new to the world of podcasting.
Right. Yeah, we have to practice this.
We do. Okay, thank you very much for watching today and listening, guys. We'll see you on the next one.